Okay, good evening, everyone. It is 6 p.m., December the 6th, 2022, and it's time to call the city council meeting to order. Before we do that, you can tell Clerk Treasurer Jane Rhodes is not here. She's a little bit under the weather, and she had hired Olivia Sunheimer this is her third week, I believe, and she's filling in tonight, so.
How's that fire hose, huh? There you go.
And she's doing an excellent job, by the way. So, Liv, roll call, please.
Here.
Here. Shocked, yeah.
Ms. Price?
Here.
Ms. McGinnis?
Here.
Ms. Snell?
Here.
Mr. Prime?
Here.
And Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Brian, will you do the prayer and pledge, please?
All right, invite you to join me. Our Father, we come to you this evening, and we just thank you so much for the privilege of being in this hall. I pray that the matters on our agenda tonight would all be handled with discernment and wisdom by those who are making decisions. I pray that you would be with our country, be with our state, be with our city, and may those who are involved in specifically this municipality, this city, in all ways, that you just bless them and their families for the way they serve here. Thank you for our police and our fire and our first responders. Bless them and their families for their sacrifice, and pray for their safety. I pray for all the residents of our city with everything going around, they stay healthy and well. And we pray all this in your name. Amen. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Brian.
That's the hardest part for me right
Is there any announcements, presentations, or public comment of items that's not on the agenda? Anything you want to bring up or talk about? Hearing none, we will close that and go on to the consent agenda.
Mayor, move to approve the consent agenda for the meeting minutes on November 21st.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Move to read new business by title only.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to do new business by title only, since there isn't any old business. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Liv, the second was Ms. McGinnis. Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none. Item number one, under new business, highlights and updates from the Franklin Education Connection. Melissa Primor. How are you?
Good. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me this evening. I'm the Executive Director for FEC, and first I would like to thank the city for all the financial support that you've given us this year and throughout all the years. You've been a big support system for us, and your most recent support at our barn dance, where Tara was able to fill a table for us, which is our largest fundraiser of the year. We appreciate your support with that. And I just wanted to tell you about the three main realms of Franklin Education Connection are our Study Connection program, which is tutoring and mentoring for our students in grades 2 through 8. We have that in all of our elementaries at Custer Baker and at the middle school. And we also are fortunate to have an off-campus site at Otterbein Senior Living Community, which is a big home run there, matching up the students with the residents each week for academic and mentoring support. Then our next program is FCHS for Scholars, which we're really proud of at the high school. That meets once a month, where we pair students who will be the first in their family to go to college with a caring adult professional in the community to help guide them all 4 years of high school through that prep for college and how to get into college, the FAFSA, all those different things that they need help with, because no one in their family has been through that process. And then the third component of FEC is our Education Foundation, and I'm excited to report that we'll be giving away thousands of dollars to that, not this week, but next week, to almost all of our schools in the form of teacher grants for programs that otherwise the teachers wouldn't have the money to be able to do the things that they want to do. They apply for grants, and we fulfill those grants so that they can put those programs in place and enhance the student education and learning process. So I would just say that we're always looking for volunteers for our Study Buddy program and our First Scholars program, and we're specifically looking for more businesses in the community to partner with us for Study Connection for off-campus sites. We love taking kids to Otterbein. We've had programs with FPD in the past. We hope to reinstate that. We've been at the National Guard Armory where we did Study Connection each week in the past, and NSK was also another off-campus site that we had that was really successful before the pandemic. So if you know of any businesses who would be interested in giving an hour of their time every Thursday afternoon around 2:30, 2:40 to 3:40, please let me know. We'd love to get some more off-campus sites so that we could serve more students who really need the academic and mentoring support. And that's really all I have. Does anyone have any questions for me?
I just have a comment. I think Les Tabling helps you with the Study Buddies. And
Les has been a study buddy for how many years? 6, yeah. And his students' story, which is really a testament to Les, is that he's at Custer Baker now and he's doing so well he no longer needs the program. So Les re-enrolled, came back to Webb, and is starting with another second grader with a new student because his student at CBIS is doing so well. His grades are so good, he's doing so well, he doesn't need the program anymore. So
Are you talking about Les doesn't need his grades got up? Or-
So thank you, and it's very rewarding. People who volunteer do it several years usually. They re-enlist because it's such a rewarding program. So let me know if you know of any, especially businesses who are interested in partnering with us.
Well, I think my wife just signed up, but I don't think she's done any yet.
I did see that. So that's exciting in the new year for sure.
Well, thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item. Common Council Ordinance Number 22-06, repealing and replacing Ordinance Number 20-04, authorizing the investment of public funds prudent to Indiana Code 5-13-9-5.7. Jane is not here, so I think Liv and Lynn is going to.
Liv, may I help out on this?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you. As you all know, the clerk treasurer is the duly elected fiscal officer for the city of Franklin. As part of her duties and responsibilities, she oversees our public funds, including any investment of those funds in very conservative types of investments. Every 2 years, it is incumbent upon her to bring to the council an investment policy. Obviously, all of those investments are public record. This is an ordinance ordinance adoption, repeals our previous one, adopts our new one, and it will be for introduction only tonight, and official action will be taken on it at the next meeting.
Okay, so do you want to add anything? Okay, so it's been introduced. We'll go on to the next item, item number 3. Common Council Ordinance Number 22-07, adopting a capital improvement plan, Director of Community Development, Krista Linka. That's what my phone says.
Linka?
Yeah, so if you say, Siri, call Krista Linka, it'll call. But if you say, call Krista Linky, it won't do it.
It's my married name. I can't help it. Thank you, Krista Linky. And I have before you tonight, in partnership with Lynn, put together the ordinance for the economic development income tax funds that we will start receiving in 2023. So this is something that the county, without really any interaction from us, at the county level approved, and then each of the municipalities receive a portion of those funds. And so according to our municipal financial consultant, Our anticipated revenue per year is just a little over $2.3 million. We will receive a monthly disbursement of that. And so this plan covers 2 years, so the total is $4,643,000. And we have to have this plan in place before we can start expending any of these funds. And so basically what other municipalities have done, they've kept it pretty broad. This is, again, it's an economic development tax. So a lot of these funds, we are kind of late to the game. Our county is one of very few counties left in the state that hasn't had this tax for many, many years. So this has been widely used across the state for a number of years. But these are things that we can help with attracting companies to help, extend sewers or put in roads. We could pay for workforce development type things, structural modifications if there's an expansion need, all of those kinds of things. So it kind of is then that incentive realm. But it also mainly is used for infrastructure purposes as far as, making sure we have what we need to attract and retain businesses that pay property taxes and employ people in our city. So we're kind of in a learning process with this. I'm not sure I can answer all of your questions, but I will try. And this is for introduction tonight. We have to have a public hearing at your next meeting anyway. So if anyone does have any questions that I can't answer, I will try to get them answered before the next meeting. Yes, Bob?
Krista, any ballpark idea what the county's share of this is going to be?
Oh, gosh.
If you don't have it, don't worry about it.
No, that I don't recall.
I was thinking it was about $8 million.
Yeah.
But we can, I know City of Greenwood is like 2.6.
Yeah, they're not much
They're
more
about-
than,
Yeah, they're 3.1.
yeah, they're not a whole lot more than we are for the size that they are, but
I do want to give everybody a heads up, though, that's on this council, that the county's making it sound real good, like, oh, we found you some money here that you're going to be able to use. We raised a tax, where if the Journal would have called me, I would have opposed the tax. I didn't think that the city of Franklin did not need a tax, but we're not going to turn down money that they're giving us. And then what they did in return, the bridges that we have in our city, we're now responsible for the bridges. So we just want to make sure that we didn't get the good deed 100% from the county. And the county would take the bridge money and spend it in White River Township. So I'm just saying, that's where it's at.
Does it expire in 2 years, or is it just continue? We just have to have
So
a
we'll
plan?
have to adopt a new plan. We can do up to 3 years, but we just, since we're new at it, weren't really sure kind of the inner workings, we just went ahead and did the 2-year plan. Also, if a project comes up that's not, specifically outlined in this very vague capital plan, we can always amend the plan as well. So it is pretty flexible in that regard. There's a lot of potential uses for it.
But I believe, Mr. Hukin, you have to have a plan to accept the money. So
Correct.
that's why we're getting one on place, and if we need to tweak it a little, we'll do that in the future.
So the way I have it allocated, and this is just kind of a stab in the dark, round numbers, just to make sure that we had kind of the categories that the mayor and I thought we would need moving forward. We just put it into 3 project categories. One is for basically infrastructure improvements, sidewalks, roadways, utilities, any kind of public infrastructure, real estate within the city limits. That includes engineering and planning costs. And that is the largest portion because we figured that would be our largest need. So that for 2 years is $4,343,570. And then project 2 is basically providing economic development grants and incentives to any qualifying business or organization designed to help offset the cost of business expansion or retention, whatever those costs might be. So we allocated $200,000 to that. And then the third category is funding for the assessment, planning, remediation, development, rehabilitation, and/or redevelopment of any determined economic development areas. And so that was $100,000 allocated to that. So again, keeping those very general and broad, not knowing what needs we will exactly have. We have a few things in mind, but again, we'll also have the repairs for the bridges that will be included in that first category.
Which at this time, I don't want to mislead you. We're in pretty good shape on the bridges. We got about 2 or 3 culverts that we know that probably need to be replaced in the next 3, 4 years. So it's not like it's put us in a bind right now. The bridges are in good shape, but we are in charge of our bridges. We will have to annually do an inspection on all the bridges and take care of that, which Mark is going to help get us set up through that. So that's where we're at. So it's introduced. Is there any questions tonight for Krista? There'll be a public meeting December 19th. That's our next meeting. I was asked tonight, and while you're there, when is the next RDC meeting?
So it's been moved to December 13th. We had to move it up a week. Normally, it would be December 20th.
Okay.
But we weren't going to have a quorum because of people traveling for the holidays. And we have a lot of finishing business for the TIF amendments that were brought before you a couple meetings ago. So we went ahead and moved that to December 13th. It'll be at 8 a.m. in this room. Normally, there would have been an Economic Development Commission meeting at that time, but we don't have any business, and Dana canceled that today. So we went ahead and took that time slot for the redevelopment commission.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Krista.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay, it's introduced. We'll go to next item. Sean, keep me in line here. I don't miss an item.
Gotcha.
Common Council Budgetary Resolution Number 22-13, authorizing a transfer from police, local law enforcement, continuing education 200 to police, local law enforcement, continuing education 300, in the amount of $18,600. Police Department, Police Chief Kirby Cochran.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. We're just asking to do some end-of-year transfers to pay for, this particular item would be to help offset the cost and pay for the flock cameras that are out at the traffic lights in different locations. And then some steel doors at the department. So we're trying to move money from local law that's already there, just to finish out paying for some bills. The next one's gonna be basically the same.
And we can do this one tonight.
Yes, yes. It's a resolution, just transferring.
I'll move for approval of Resolution 2213.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Irene on the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to the next item. Common Council Budgetary Resolution Number 22-14, authorizing a transfer from Police 400 Capital to Police 300 Services in the amount of $16,400. Police Chief Kirby Cochran.
Thank you, Mayor. This would be a transfer of $16,400 from Capital 400 Series to the Services 300 to pay for the flock services. That's the camera services, not the actual hardware. And also utilities for invoices received in December just to close out the year. And that money's, it's in the fund, so we're just transferring it.
So, and let me just explain real quick on paying for the services. Next year, we're going to probably put that in IT, which this year we didn't have it in the budget.
Right.
So we're going to try to get that in the IT budget for the next year.
I'll move for approval of Resolution 2214.
Second.
Sean on the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, we'll go on to the next item. Thank you, Chief. Common Council Budgetary Resolution Number 22-15, authorizing a transfer from the Board of Works Capital to the Board of Works Supplies and Services in the amount of $500,000. We will have Ms. Gray and Olivia help with this one.
Liv, you want to talk about $500,000?
No, thank you.
Okay, all right. This, just as Chief Cochran and Mayor indicated, these are typical year-end accounting. This is money that's already budgeted. It's nothing, no new money. We're not reappropriating. We're simply, at the beginning of the budget year, we put it in one category. Now we realize we need to put it into another category, and we're asking to just transfer, and it won't increase our expenses at all. Happy to answer any questions, since Jane's not here.
I'll move for approval of Resolution 2215.
Second.
Man, I'm going to give that one to Jennifer.
I don't think I was, I think
Okay,
I
it
was
was
the third.
Irene. It was Irene. I'll give that one to Irene. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Hearing none, we will go to the Common Council Budgetary Resolution Number 22-16, authorizing a transfer from the General Law Ordinance and Code Enforcement to General Law Municipal Department in an amount of $19,320. We will go with Ms. Gray.
Liv, you okay with that? Yes. Okay, thank you. This is one, actually, I do know about this one. We have several categories within our law budget. As you know, the city has several different lawyers that do different boards and things of this nature. This one is simply a transfer within the series from the code enforcement, which I don't know that we ever use, ever. We generally put it into either the Board of Works or to the municipal fund, as this one's being asked to be. So it would just be a transfer within the series, no new money allocated.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Mr. Austin on the second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, we will go to the last item, Common Council Budgetary Resolution Number 22-18, authorizing a transfer from the General Mayor Promotional Fund 1101-001-340 to the General Mayor Perf Fund 1101-001-126 in the amount of $1,450. Olivia, do you want that one, or Ms. Gray?
Thank you, Liv. Actually, Mayor, you may know this, again, these are standard, we do this a lot in this December meetings, where we take it from one series where it's been allocated and move it to another series. It would appear that we've taken this out of the promotional area of the mayor's budget, put it over to PERF so that we can pay our employees what they're entitled to be paid.
And going through the budget this year, the reason we've probably had to transfer more this year than in the past is because of, around when May, June, July, we started seeing all the increases in gas, and just everything in general was spiking out of control. We think we fixed most of this in next year's budget. Whenever I met with all of you, we talked about the increases that we needed, and most of this should be taken care of at that time. So,
But to be clear, this is not new money, it's already in there, so no impact on the budget, correct?
that is correct.
Right.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, Josh with the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, there isn't any other business, so we'll go right into council member comments. And Irene, I think you're going to make that. You want to speak first, just in
Yeah,
case?
sure. Well, I really don't have anything tonight other than this weekend was awesome. I thought everyone did a really, really nice job, and the lighting was great, and there was such a good turnout. There was people, I think, downtown from morning to night. I mean, town was just full. It was a good turnout. Thanks to everybody and their help, their work.
Jennifer, while we're on that end?
I'll just echo what Irene said.
Bob?
Did you want the mayor's youth group to say anything?
No, I'll go back last.
Go back last.
Yeah.
I've got to ask a question. Next month, the meeting on the 19th, those items that Krista provided, does that have to have, how many you have to have here in order to,
A
We-
full quorum?
It's an ordinance, so we need to have 4 of the 7.
okay, I'm going to request this being excused that night. I've got an important meeting I could go to, but if it has to, I mean, if I have to be here, I'll certainly be here, but
Request is denied. I'm just kidding, Bob. So,
well, I was going to argue against it, so there, no, I would appreciate if I could be excused. I normally don't ask this publicly, but in this one, I just want to make sure we're going to have enough here to get it done.
Thanks for asking, Bob, because sometimes when you're dealing with a tax, you need 5 out of the 7. You don't need a 2/3 rather than, but this is just a plan for tax that's already been done at the city level, so we'll be okay.
Okay,
With a quorum.
thank you.
A majority.
okay, thank you, Bob. Is that it? Anything?
That's it.
Like to buy?
Thank you.
Look like your package ready to get opened up. Sean?
Thank you.
Well, that answers my question, because I will not be here. I'll be out of the country on the 19th, so I need to excuse as well, Steve.
Okay, so we got 5 so far. Ken?
Just echo the lady's comments about this last weekend. It was amazing and the city was full. So I appreciate all the efforts from the city employees.
Ann?
Great weekend, yes, and I will be here. for the next meeting, so you're good.
You good?
John?
You good? Okay.
Just echo everything. Festival was wonderful. I love seeing, coming down here and seeing all the lights on downtown and everything, so, and I will be here.
Thank you. Riley, would you introduce all the Mayor's Youth Council that's here tonight and tell us your full name?
So I'm Riley Schaff. I'm the communications chair for FMYLC at the high school. To my right is Zach Reese. We have Luke Cambridge, Sean Greider, and Brady Schmidt in the front row, and Amelia Tisdale behind them. Recently, we've been working a lot with Arlon Bayless. We're trying to put a roundabout like sculpture in the middle of the roundabout that's going to go outside of the high school. We've decided on a design, and we're going to create a smaller committee within our committee to like kind of be more hands-on with Arlon, but overall we're kind of going to be hands-off from this point on. We just had to give him the design and let him do his work because that's what he's good at. But this weekend was also really good for us. We raised just over $400 and 75 cents more than last year, so we'll count that as a win. But other than that, we've been busy at work with that sculpture, so on to the next.
Okay, thank you. Anybody want to say anything? Any of the Mayor's Youth Council? Okay, Tara?
He's sitting here just.
I'd like to thank the Mayor's Youth Council for coming out this weekend, braving the cold and raising money for Christmas Angels. And then I'd like to invite the city council to our employee Christmas party. It's December 16th at 11 a.m. at the Legends. And I'd also like to publicly thank the Legends for donating their space for our party.
Okay, thank you, Tara. Liv, you got anything to add?
No, it was nice to meet all of you. Hope to see you all again.
Thank you. Glenn?
No, sir.
And I don't have anything to add, so need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Kenny was the second and made the motion, so all those in favor?
Aye.
No running.
Committee within a committee, you folks have a future in politics.